Yeah. So radian measure हमने कर लिया था और उस टाइम आपको बताया था you just need to know how to convert it. अगली चीज है कि हमारे पास now for circles, you know, the basic idea is that all the points on the circle, they are equidistant, they are the same distance away from the center, and that distance we call it radius. And if there's a straight line and that straight line passes through the circle, this is called chord, and it breaks the circle into two parts. And if that chord divides it into two halves, ठीक है, ऐसे अगर वो सेंटर से गुजर लेती है और टू हाफ्स बना देती है, then this is a special chord and we call it a diameter, and it divides the circle into two portions which are equal to each other. Okay, then if you have two chords, तो वो inscribed circles बनाती है. Like for example, if I have another chord that goes like this, then this angle in here, that is an inscribed circle. Okay, because they are kind of like, ये आपका सर्कल था, आपने इसको इमेजिन ऐसे आपने कार्व कर दिया उसको, एक स्लाइस निकाल दी है उसमें से आप, ठीक है, तो ये जो एंगल है ना, ये inscribed angle होता है. Now the first idea that you have to remember is that the inscribed angle is is half the angle at the center. तो अगर इसी से इन्हीं दो पॉइंट से मैं ये एंगल बनाता हूँ, so if this angle is theta, then this angle is 2 theta. It is double the angle. So inscribed angle is half the angle at center, or the angle at center is double the angle at the inscribed angle. अब इसका एक और फायदा होता है. इसका फायदा होता है कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं inscribe उसको कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे ऐसे, sorry, imagine if this was exactly over here, ठीक है, on the edge of the circle, ठीक है, ऐसे inscribe हुआ है और ये angle. Now imagine if you're starting over here and this is the center, the angle is 180, but that means this angle is going to be half of that, which makes it 90. So जो आपके पास सेमी सर्कल में एंगल इंस्क्राइब होएगा ना कभी भी, वो 90 होएगा, ठीक है. तो द एंगल दैट इज इंस्क्राइब्ड इन अ सेमी सर्कल इज ऑलवेज 90. या अगर डायमीटर से आ रहा है तो वो हमेशा परपेंडिकुलर होगा, 90 होगा. अच्छा, रेडियस क्या होता है? रेडियस की एक और बात होती है कि अगर आपके पास कोई टेंजेंट है, tangent is basically a line that passes through one spot on the circle, then this tangent and this radius, they're always going to be 90. So we have found two 90 angles inside a circle. One is when the angle is inscribed from a semicircle or from a diameter, then that is 90. And the other is if the angle is between the radius and the tangent. So radius and tangent are always perpendicular to each other. Next thing that we need to know is कि on a coordinate graph, जो हमने graphs पढ़े हुए हैं, उसमें हम circle की equation निकाल सकते हैं, definitely निकाल सकते हैं. And pay attention to this because this isn't something you study in O levels. This is the equation of circle. So x and y are just x and y, ठीक है? और आपका जो सर्कल का सेंटर है दैट इज एच एंड के, और आर आपका रेडियस होता है. व्हिच मींस अगर मैं आपसे कहता हूं कि मेरी इक्वेशन है x minus 2 whole squared plus y minus 1 whole squared is equal to 4, then what's the radius of this circle? 2, because 4 is 2 squared and you need the square part. So radius is 2, and what's the center? It is 2 and 1. Okay?
जी sir.
अच्छा, if I had x plus 2 whole squared plus y minus 1 by 3 whole squared equal to 5, then what's my radius? This is always equal to r squared, right? So my radius is going to be square root of 5. It can't be negative because radius is length, length is never negative. Similarly, my center is going to be, what is it? Think about it. What's my center?
Minus 2.
Minus 2.
1 over 3.
1 over 3. Perfect. Exactly. So that is my angle and all that. अच्छा, कुछ formulas हैं सर्कल के जो आपको याद करने हैं. First formula is area is pi. Pi is obviously 3.142 usually ले लेते हैं, times r squared. Then we have circumference. Circumference is the outer boundary of a circle, and that is 2 pi multiplied by r. Then we have arc length. Arc length is the boundary of a circle, जो कि ऐसे arc होती है, ठीक है? And that is equal to, there are two formulas for this. Theta over 360 degrees, because the total angle is 360, so theta out of that, you find the ratio of that multiplied by 2 pi r. अब इसकी पीछे एक reason है. Let's suppose I have a circle, and for that circle, I just want to know the arc from here to here. So obviously there's going to be an angle here, this theta. Now the idea here is that the ratio of angle is equal to the ratio of arc length. Okay? And again, this is because of similar figures that we studied last time. So यहाँ पे सोचो जरा, my arc length divided by the total arc length. What is the total arc length? The total circle, 2 pi r, is equal to my angle to the total angle, which is 360 degrees. And that gives me arc length is equal to 3 theta over 360 degrees into 2 pi r. Similarly, this thing can be extended to area ratio. Okay, the ratio of area is also in the same manner. So my sector, which is this portion, my sector area compared to my total area of the whole circle, that's pi r squared, is same as the angle to the total angle, 360 degrees. So that gives me sector area is equal to theta over 360 degree into pi r squared. Now, if you have, this is all useful if you have angles in degrees, because 360 degrees is the angle in full circle. But if you're using radian the other unit, then the arc length is even easier to remember. Arc length is going to be r radius multiplied by theta in radians, and area is going to be r square theta over 2 or half r square theta. Again, this is something that you don't need to know why it is the way it is. You just have to remember this. इसको बस आपने solve करना है. ठीक है? तो एक तो ये हमारे पास ये हो गया इसका basic idea of what the circle is and what properties to remember for that. तो circle की theory सिर्फ इतनी सी है. But obviously that's not enough. We need to be able to solve the questions. Question में हमें ये थोड़ी पूछेगा वो कि formula बता दो. So that is why we need to do a few examples. So let's do this one. In the figure above, the outer circle's radius is twice as long. So ये जो outer circle का radius है, it is twice as long as the inner circle's radius. So inner का अगर r है तो outer का 2r है. What is the ratio of area of shaded region to the area of unshaded region? Okay, so let's figure it out. We want to know the shaded area over unshaded area. That's the ratio we're looking for. Now, what is shaded area? Shaded is the bigger circle minus the smaller circle, and the unshaded is just the smaller circle, right? So let's just apply the formula. We know a bigger circle का radius होएगा, area होएगा pi into r squared, और smaller circle होगा pi into r squared divided by pi r squared. Now, what is my bigger radius? It is 2r. So I'll just plug that in there. 2r whole squared, because r is the 2r minus pi r squared over pi r squared. Okay, let's move on. This comes out to be 4 pi r squared minus pi r squared. How does it 4 pi r squared? 2 ka squared 4 and r squared, and there you go. So now I'm getting 3 pi r squared over pi r squared. So I'll just cancel this out. Pi r squared with pi r squared, my ratio is 3:1, which means 3 times the area is like the area that is shaded is 3 times bigger as the unshaded area. So we just had to do some algebra and we were able to figure this out. Okay, what is the area of the shaded region in the figure above? Okay, now for that you have to be able to separate the shaded region from the other shapes that you have here. So if you zoom in, what's basically happening? You have a sector, this portion, which has a triangle inscribed inside it. Okay, and you want to know this area. Okay, so I can say that my shaded region. I don't have a formula for the shaded region right away, but I can say that shaded region is basically sector area minus the triangle area, right? Okay, and what's my sector area? Uh, I have 45 degrees as my angle, so 45 over 360 multiplied by pi r squared. R कितने 2, तो 2 squared. फॉर्मूला अप्लाई कर दिया. और ट्राइंगल का होता है हाफ into AB sin C. Remember this formula. Half AB sin C. The angle inside. So अगर आपके पास दो sides हैं और एक A है, एक B है, and the third one, the angle between them, it's always the angle between them. That's C. Then you can apply this formula. We have the angle between them. We have the two radius. They are both 2. So obviously, so A into B into sine 45. Plug it in the ये कैलकुलेटर में आ सकता है और आपको इसका आंसर मिल जाएगा, जो भी इसका आंसर आएगा. ठीक है, जस्ट मेक श्योर यू कैंसिल देम सही तरह से. 45 को 360 एंड ऑल दैट 2 से गया. ठीक है, तो इससे आपके पास आंसर आ जाएगा. क्लियर? सो इफ यू सॉल्व इट यू विल बी एबल टू फिगर आउट कि आपका क्या आता है फाइनल आंसर. काफी आसान है. लेट्स ट्राई दिस एग्जांपल. अच्छा, एक टर्म वो यूज करता है मेजर एंड माइनर. मेजर माइनर का बेसिकली मतलब होता है कि अगर मैं आपसे कहता हूँ ना द आर्क लेंथ फ्रॉम ए टू बी, देन इट कुड बी दिस वन और इट कुड बी दिस वन. नाउ द रेड वन इज द बिगर वन, सो वी कॉल दैट द माइनर आर्क, मेजर आर्क, एंड द ब्लू वन इज द स्मॉलर वन, सो वी कॉल दैट द माइनर आर्क. अब वो क्या कह रहा है? वो कह रहा है अ सर्कल विद डायमीटर 10. So that clearly tells me that if the diameter is 10, radius is 5. If AOB is 120, this angle is 120, what is the length of minor arc AB? कोई मसला ही नहीं है. Arc length
360
is
into
theta over 360 into 2 pi r. Now I know that this is in degrees, that's why I'm able to use this formula. If this was in radians, I would use the other formula, which is which is S equal to r theta. So this is going to be 120 degrees over 360 degrees into 2 pi into r. Yeah.
Sir, अगर हमें वो रेडियंस वाला जो फॉर्मूला ना याद रहे तो can we just apply this formula and then in the end हम उसको रेडियंस में कन्वर्ट कर लें कैलकुलेटर से?
देखो, अगर आपको रेडियन वाला फॉर्मूला ये नहीं याद ना, कोई इशू नहीं है. Just make sure that if you're using this formula, your angle should be in degrees. तो अगर आपको उसने एंगल रेडियन में दिया हुआ है, आप उसको कन्वर्ट करके ये फॉर्मूला लगा लो.
सर वो रेशियो मेथड से भी हो सकता है ना, पाई और फिर 180 डिग्रीज ऐसा कोई था.
या एग्जैक्टली हो सकता है, उसी से होता है.
वही है ना उसका रेशियो.
वही. लेट्स डू दिस वन. अब ये क्या कह रहा है? In the figure above, angle for ACB is inscribed in circle O. Okay, so inscribed angles are always half of the central angle. So जो angle center पे है वो है 90. So this angle is going to be 45. और यही आंसर है. We just need to know that inscribed angle is half of the central angle. बस ये हमें पता होना चाहिए. अब ये करते हैं. ये थोड़ा सा ना tricky question आ गया. वो कह रहा है the equation of a circle in xy plane is given. What are the coordinates of the center? अब इसके लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? इसके लिए हमें करनी पड़ेगी completing the square for y separately and for x separately. अब जरा completing the square करते हैं. We know x squared minus 4x का completing the square करेंगे तो क्या होता है? याद है? It is going to be x minus 4x plus 2 squared minus 2 squared. Or in other words, half of this, calculate that. So x minus 2, उसको इस तरह कर दो और minus that squared कर दो. This is how you do the completing the half square part. दोबारा सुन लो क्या करना है? Take the middle value, the number with x or the number with y, half it. एक आपने लिख देना है x plus 2 या x minus 2 जो भी यहाँ पे साइन होगा, और एक कर देना minus that squared. Let me show it again. I had y squared plus 2y. So half of 2 is 1. So I'll write y plus 1 squared minus 1 squared. ये ज़हन में रखना है. This sign comes from this. exactly जो भी sign होता है वो यहाँ पे आ जाता है, and the second sign is always negative, and that's how you do complete in the square. So now if I were to do this again, x squared minus 4x plus y squared plus 2y equals to 31. So what I'll do is x minus 2 whole squared minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 whole squared minus 1 squared equal to 31. That gives me x minus 2 whole squared minus 4 plus y plus 1 whole squared minus 1 equal to 31. This minus 1, because square is on the 1, not on the negative. So that gives me x minus 2 whole squared plus y plus 1 whole squared minus 5 equal to 31. I'll bring this minus 5 here. So मेरे पास this leaves me with x minus 2 whole squared plus y plus 1 whole squared is equal to 36. Yep.
अच्छा कुछ नहीं समझ आ गया.
Okay. And now I have it in the standard equation. Standard equation क्या कह रही थी? This is equal to r squared, which means r is 6. This is my center, that's my center. My center will be, what's my center? Tell me.
2 and minus 1.
Perfect. So 2 and minus 1 is my center. And that's it. We now know circles. Circles को आप solve कर लो. I think triangles हमने कर लिया था. और हमारे पास अब ज्योमेट्री में सिर्फ एक छोटी सी चीज रह गई है, which is similar figures. बल्कि वो भी हमने शायद कर लिया था. I think we did it. Oh, we are left with volume. Volume का सीधा सीधा फॉर्मूला याद करना है, उसमें कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं, सीधा सीधा फॉर्मूला.